Coming up on This Week in iPad, it's all about iPad 2. Hello everyone and welcome to This Week in iPad. I'm your host, Andrea Renee. You can follow me on Twitter at Andrea Renee. I am here as always. Oh wait, Jacob Birch is not here. As I was gone at GDC last week, I decided to kick Jacob to the curb this week and bring in the beautiful Michelle Hummel is here with me today.
Oh, Andrea, stop.
Thank you so much for coming on the show and helping me host out while Jacob is in Atlanta.
Very exciting to be here. Feel very lucky that I'm here in probably one of the biggest events going on in the iPad right now, so very cool.
Absolutely. We are just mere minutes away from the release of iPad 2 in commercial stores here on the West Coast. Now, if you live on the East Coast, I'm sure you probably already have your iPad 2 in your hand. And if anyone out there has an iPad 2 right now, please tweet us at TWIiPad and tell us what you think, or get into our chat room at ustream.tv/thisweekin and let us know if it's as amazing and glorious as everyone is saying it is, because clearly we can't get our hands on them yet here on the West Coast. So I want to get started with the iPad game of the week, and then we will get into some iPad news a little bit later. So let me plug my little thing in here, and today we're talking about another Chillingo game because I love what Chillingo puts out, and this game is actually not one of their mainstream titles. It's one of their smaller releases. It's called Big Boss, Wacky Land's Big Boss to be specific. It's developed by Fair Play Labs and of course published by Chillingo, like I said. You can buy it in the App Store for $1.99, which is super cheap. And let me turn up my volume here. So this is the main screen. Pretty cute. What I really like about this game is you get to be the boss this time around. Instead of always defeating the boss, you actually get to go and defeat all the little townspeople, which I think is a really interesting twist on the kind of action-adventure game. This is my character. Of course, I named her Big Red because I have red hair, even though she's blue. You can change the color of your boss later on once you level them up. So this is the main screen. As you can see, there's a number of different options. They have Crystal enabled if you want to get into the online leaderboards. And they also have a really neat option where you can choose between using a virtual D-pad or using swipe options. And we're going to use swipe because I think it is a much better representation and it utilizes the interface of the iPad so much better. I think maybe D-pad would be helpful if you were working on an iPhone screen because it's so much smaller. Right. So we're going to go ahead and show you some gameplay. Which is really kind of neat is they have this North Pole Kingdom that has all these kind of Christmassy themes. I mean, I'm a little over Christmas because it was just a couple months ago. Agreed. So I'm going to show you the Trogan Plains. There's a couple different levels here that you can work your way through. As you can see, I haven't gotten that far because the game is actually surprisingly hard. So I'm going to take you through the first level so you can take a look at it. So you have your boss here, and you move them by moving around on the iPad screen, and you kill the little guys by just tapping on them. And there's two different kinds of attacks. There's a heavy attack and a light attack. It's a little bit more defined when you use the virtual D-pad, which attack you're using. Because right now, I would be doing the equivalent of a button masher if this had buttons. I think it's funny, one less happy ending, because we're the boss, we want to make sure everyone dies. Oh, there's a cow, look it, you can throw the cow. Oh no, they're hitting me. If you swipe downwards, you can do a somersault and move around the screen. And you also have power-ups. So let's say I want to breathe some fire. I can make them nice and toasty. So basically, this is the gist of gameplay. You're just a big boss, and you're traveling through, and you have enemies coming after you, trying to kill you. And you just gotta take them out, one guy at a time. Oh, perfect, there's a princess. In this game, you don't rescue the princess, you eat the princess.
Yum, yum.
I thought that that was hilarious the first time. I was like, I get to eat the princess? That's just awesome. As you can see here, I'm wearing a karate gi, which is kind of weird. And my weapons here are a pitchfork, a knife, a mace, and a sword, all kind of banded together. And I have a cute little pick bow. And I have another power-up. Big stomp. Get out of the corner. There we go. Okay, time to light them all on fire. Yeah.
Nice.
And you earn these power-ups here at the top as you proceed through the game. The more bosses you beat, the more power-ups you can get. And they recommend if for some reason you run into a boss that's too hard, then you can go back to the beginning levels like I just did with this one and level your character up a little bit more so you can get stronger before you go after some of those bosses in the deeper levels, which is really quite necessary because some of them have special powers that are really difficult to defeat. So this is the basic gameplay, which is pretty fun, actually, and it requires some skill and being able to move around on the screen. Sometimes I get frustrated because my fingers just kind of all mashed together. But you can do a double tap here too. You can hit one side each. That's what I like about the swipe version versus the D-pad. The D-pad, you actually have to hit the left and right buttons on the cross pad to actually move around, and I found that much more difficult. And this one, like I said, really uses the iPad touchscreen really well. So I'm going to go ahead and pause the game up here and quit out so I can show you how I can upgrade my boss. Because that's one of the really fun parts about Wacky Land's Big Boss. So this is the main upgrade screen, and there's two ways you can upgrade. You can evolve and equip. So under evolve, you can really customize your boss to how you want them to look. Since I'm a girl and I love playing with badass girls, I made my boss look like a chick, clearly. But you can make them look like almost anything. You can give them funny eyes. You can make them really crazy.
Wow.
That is nice. And you can change the kind of mouth that they have.
Wow.
Yes, it is wow. Isn't that awesome? One big tooth maybe. And these are the different kinds of monsters you can be. And as you can see, you have to unlock them as you go along. Now, I have 3 unlocked right now. I have the latest one that I unlocked is the Furry Beast, so we'll change over to him. And then all of these other things are different based off which character you have. So let's say I want to have blue arms, or a blue body with fuzzy arms, or a green body. You can actually change a lot of the features. And under Equip is where you're going to start looking at your actual weapons and upgrades. Now there's hats, of course. I have the bow. You can get a baseball cap, a jester hat. They have a disguise. And down here on the bottom it shows you what kind of different upgrades, if they give you more strength, more shielding, more mobility, or more agility, which is really kind of interesting to watch. You can see how the numbers change. They turn green if it ups from where you currently are, and they turn red if it actually brings you down. So I really think this is a really fun little game. The inventory system is pretty simple. Sometimes these games can have really complicated inventories. If you guys remember my review of Infinity Blade, that was one of my major criticisms of that game, is that the inventory system was just so ridiculous and so complex and so deep. You would literally have to play through the game hundreds of times in order to complete that inventory. And this is really simple, and it's really cute and fun, and you can really customize your boss how you see fit, and you can name them whatever you want. And they have 12 different levels across 4 different scenarios: forest, ice, village, and castle, plus the 4 North Pole Kingdom scenario. And I just really love this game, and it's only $1.99. It's $2, and it's completely worth it, and I highly recommend you guys check it out if you're looking for a fun new game of the week. And that is my iPad Game of the Week review.
Yay!
Thank you, thank you. Before we get into our iPad news segment, I want to talk to you guys about a company that we used to talk about all the time here at This Week in iPad, and I'm very happy to bring them back on board here at thisweekin.com. I know they're working with some other shows that we have here on our network. It's Hover.com. If you guys remember, they are a fantastic company, and we are proud to be doing a really fun contest with them. As you can see, they are doing a special with us where they're going to waive the $25 transfer fee when you mention the promo code WEEK for 10% off. Now, if you guys are with another domain registrar, I won't name names, maybe they're not treating you as well as they should. Hover has fantastic customer service. They are doing a fantastic deal where you can transfer your current domain name to hover.com, and they will extend your registration on your domain for a whole another year for only $10. And if you use our special week promo code, that goes down to $9. So let's say you have a domain coming up for expiration maybe this year, maybe it's in 2012, maybe it's even in 2014. You can go to Hover right now and transfer your domain for just $10 or for $9 if you use our special week promo code, and they will extend that beyond your expiration date for a whole another year for just $10, which is a fantastic deal because I know if you guys have websites, you understand that sometimes when you automatic renew, you don't know how much the price is going to be because you've signed up your credit card years ago. Like, for example, my website, AndreaRenee.com, I don't even know when it expires. So I should probably check it out and transfer it over to Hover. And with this awesome promo code we're doing, we are actually going to also do a contest in conjunction with us. We're going to be giving away 2 $50 iTunes gift cards. That will buy you at least 2 months worth of awesome apps on your new iPad or iPad 2 or your iPhone or any of your other Apple accessories or devices. And how you can win this is you email us at ipad@thisweekend.com. Email us your receipts from your transfer that you made to Hover. You can enter as many times as you want, but the catch is you have to transfer domains. So let's say you transfer 10 domains, send us all 10 of those confirmations, and you're entered 10 times into the contest. Think about it. It's super cheap, and you have the opportunity to more than quadruple your money by winning a $50 iTunes card. So we're really excited to be doing this contest with Hover.com. You go to week.hover.com to learn all about how to transfer. It's super easy, and I have it up here on my computer if you guys want to take a look at the side. This is what it'll look like. And it's really simple. You just enter your domain name in right here, and it checks exactly what you need to do to transfer. Hover makes it super simple. And just email us at ipad@thisweekend.com with your confirmation once you transfer your domain over to Hover, and you'll be entered to win those $50 iTunes cards. And we will be giving those away in 2 weeks. You guys have 2 weeks to get this done. So check out week.hover.com. All right, now let's talk about iPad 2.
Let's do it.
There is so much awesome stuff going on with iPad 2. We went down to the Santa Monica Promenade today, me and my producer Matt, to try to talk to people in line waiting for iPad 2. There was only about 20 people or so in line when we got there because we got there around 11 o'clock noon hour and the store opened at 5. I was kind of thinking there would be more people in line.
That is surprising. I was watching some footage from a Geek Squad guy this morning. He posted to YouTube. He was there at 4:30 a.m. They had the ropes, the lines. He was anticipating 12 hours. No one was there. I mean, 4:30 a.m. is a little early, but
right.
I mean, I remember the iPhone 4 release, and it was bananas. That's why I decided not to be here instead today.
Yeah, well, I mean, what's interesting about that is I know so many people that are buying them online that are like, why would I want to wait? But now you told me that the shipments are going to be delayed.
Yeah, I think that they give everyone the expectations like, oh yeah, easy, breezy. But the problem is, like, your servers go down, people have a hard time getting it. You know, it's like 1 o'clock in the morning, you've got to stay up, but that risk versus standing in line I think is always more appealing. But then there's always glitches. And so now, once again, it looks like, I was seeing that it was 2 to 3 weeks is what I read last.
And it was originally supposed to be
5 to 7 days, I think.
Wow, that's a giant leap.
Yeah.
From 5 to 7 days to 2 to 3 weeks. I mean, you can go from having it in 5 days to 21 days.
Then you're not so cool anymore.
Yeah, right, then you don't have it first.
No.
It was interesting when we were down on the promenade, we tried to interview people so we could put together a little package for you guys to talk about what people were most excited about seeing in iPad 2. And of course, security came down and got mad, said we were harassing the people in line. And I was so disappointed. I was like, what do you mean I'm not harassing anybody? We're here talking about iPad. I'm like, this is This Week in iPad. We love the iPad, and we want to talk about why people love the iPad 2. So unfortunately, due to technical difficulties, we could not bring that package to you. But we have some really cool B-roll footage of some of the screenshots and stuff that Apple has put out about iPad 2. And we're going to go ahead and keep talking about iPad 2, but we can roll that footage of Apple introducing the iPad 2. Of course, it comes in black and white this time around, which is fantastic because Apple is known for their white, beautiful electronics, so it's about time. And they also have this really fancy smart cover, and it comes in 10 different colors, 5 of which are, I believe, neoprene, and the other 5 are leather. And they are $39 or $69 respectively, depending on how fancy you want to get.
Booyah!
And let's talk a little bit about some of the upgrades to the iPad 2 versus the iPad.
Yeah.
So what do you got, Michelle?
Well, I think the thing that people are all saying, you know, thinner, lighter, faster. We've got the camera, the front and the back on the camera, which is obviously something everyone's loving these days, seeing a little bit of those that you love or those that maybe you don't love. But I think something that people are really talking about, especially, you know, are the gamers, like what you can do with the A5 and the dual-core processor. So this thing is going to be uber fast for those people who want to game with their iPad, which I think there's a lot of people that probably would be buying the iPad 2, especially for that feature.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, what's interesting about it is that I don't know anyone that's buying it specifically for the processor. You hear everyone talk about just like the applications. It's like, well, people, I think the average consumer just doesn't understand the technology behind it. You know, how did you get in to be such a tech geek and know all about software?
Well, I've been doing web design and graphic design, software interface for a long time. I don't want to date myself, but I got into it very randomly. But I've been addicted ever since, and so I've, you know, because of that, love all Apple products. Obviously, they work best for design. So I own a MacBook Pro. I've owned all the iPhones since, you know, the beginning stages and upgrade to the newest ones whenever I can. And then, of course, had to have the iPad. And what I loved about the iPad is with me, with my MacBook Pro, it's amazing, but I'm always going to be wanting to do work. I'm going to, you know, be updating my website, my blog. I'm going to be designing things. You know, people know they can contact me and be like, Michelle, do this. And so it's more of a work mode for me when I have my Pro. But with the iPad, I think automatically it just feels, because it's lighter, number one, you feel like a little more free to do what you want to do, something more fun, you know, come with all the apps. Like, so much more fun that you can just kind of have leisure time, do fun things with music, do fun things with, you know, just things that you wouldn't normally do sitting on, I think, your computer. More things that are kind of like, oh, hey, I'm just going to check this out. It's a little crazy, but I'm going to spend maybe, you know, 2 hours of my time doing something that I probably shouldn't be doing.
Well, no, and absolutely, and that's, you know, one of the reasons why we do a game review on the show every week, because we understand that people use their iPads for casual purposes, but they also do use them for business.
Right.
But like you said, most people, when they have real, like, serious, lots of business to do, they turn to their laptop or to their desktop to get some more functionality. And I know for me, a lot of it has to do with the keyboard. And Jacob and I have shown the wireless keyboard on the show a number of times and how it interfaces really well. But when I do works and emails, I still prefer to be on my laptop versus my iPad, because my iPad, there's just so many fun apps. You just, like you said, you get distracted.
And I think that I definitely will kind of move over to do more work functionality type things on there, because I'm really accessing the Google Docs. I've really been like transferring everything with the Google Docs on there, and checking out notes. But there's nothing that I'm not ready to like do design work on there yet. I'm not downloading any Photoshop apps or anything that's going to make me like actually work. So
That's
pleasure. It's pleasure for me.
Well, Robin Hood in the chat room says, I use my iPad to impress women. Do guys with iPad impress you?
Oh, definitely. I loved when people were first buying the iPads, and everyone loved to bring them to the airport. So you'd see everyone like carrying them around, and the guys would be like, "What's up?" They'd be in line, like, "Yeah, I'm just checking out on my iPad." So I think, hey, it's a good accessory for men.
Oh, absolutely, and it speaks to your inner geek.
Yeah,
because you're a self-proclaimed tech geek girl.
I love it. Yeah, that's my thing.
Absolutely,
it's more interesting than to me. It's more interesting than clothes and makeup.
Hey, you know what? We're in agreement here, because obviously this is iPad, and we love embracing technology here. So let's talk for a second about this screen, because I know someone else in the chat says it's Louis, Bob, Mike, Frank, and Earl. That's quite a screen name you got there. I can't believe Apple managed to get people excited about a perforated piece of plastic that rolls up.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
I know, isn't it? It's ridiculous. What's really interesting about the cover is, first and foremost, it's about time that Apple gave you a cover. Now, I'm still a little bit confused as to if the cover comes with the iPad 2 or if you have to buy it separately.
Yeah, I'm guessing separate is kind of what I'm seeing. I mean, I can't imagine that, because what if you get one that you don't like? Then you're trading. It's like black market for the covers.
No, that's true. I was thinking about that going, do you get to choose the color? So you have to add this cover on, but at least there is a cover, because I know so many times when you buy a case, like for example, the case that you have on your iPad right now does not have a screen protector. My ZooGo case here does.
Thanks for calling me out.
Well, I'm just saying this is the problem that Apple is
Right.
addressing.
No, I agree.
And that it has micro cloth or microfiber or something on the other side, so it's supposed to clean your
Right.
screen when you're not using it. I don't know how that works, because fingerprints really don't come off unless you use a little bit of elbow grease.
And it's magnetic.
That part I think is really cool, and it's a
Mm-hmm.
makeshift stand. I don't think it's going to. There's a photo of all the different colors of the iPad covers. I don't think it's going to replace getting an iPad case, because clearly it doesn't protect it as a whole.
Right.
Not that you can like really buy a case and you drop it and it doesn't get affected because of how small it is, but I mean, it's a really good, kind of quick stand to use because it does roll up.
Right.
I mean, it's better than the original case that that Apple put out for the iPad.
It's like ergonomics for the iPad.
Yeah, I guess I never thought about it that way.
It looks like comfortable living for the iPad.
Yes, indeed. One of the other things that I'm really excited about testing on the show, and Jacob is supposed to be coming back with an iPad too, so next week we'll be able to show you guys the front and rear facing cameras, the fun little cover that we're talking about, and of course it has an HDMI output, and this we're really excited about, because that means that now we can actually plug our iPad into one of these monitors behind us and show you guys on the big screen exactly what we're doing on our iPad as we're doing it. Now, I think that this is a huge breakthrough for Apple. The thing that I'm really concerned about seeing, though, however, is that historically, Apple's HDMI connectors are pretty small. They're very short.
Right.
And I think that you're going to see a lot of third-party connection cables cropping up for Apple products. Clearly, they're available now.
Yeah.
But that was always my big problem of connecting my device, like my laptop, via HDMI to the TV. Is like you had to buy this like 20-foot cord.
Yeah, and first you've got like the big screen televisions, and you're there with your iPad connected to the HDMI. You're like a little close, but I think that hopefully they'll get a little longer. I do agree. I think the cables tend to be just a little short and don't allow for you to lounge on your couch and connect to the HDMI.
Yes, so let's cross our fingers that they will come out with a big cord. And then let's talk for a second real quick about the cameras before we move on to our last segment. How important do you think these cameras are to people that are purchasing the iPad 2?
It seems, for the consumer, it seems to be something that's very exciting. Like, I think that everyone is almost like surprised that they bought the first iPad without even it having a camera. Everyone was like, what was the point? For me, I've got it on my iPhone 4. I don't use it as much as I thought I would, the whole camera, the FaceTime, but obviously, the interface is we've got a bigger screen, better resolution, so it's like, you could use it in good family settings when it's almost like a Skype-esque more type of atmosphere than it is what it is on the iPhone, and a lot of times with the iPhone, like if you're not on the wireless, if you're not on wireless, you're not getting it, so I've honestly barely used it, but I think it's a great seller for just maybe the average consumer.
Well, absolutely. And I think it's interesting that they're making a big push about how the rear-facing camera actually does HD video. And I just can't imagine holding up my iPad, and shooting a lot of video with it. It'll be interesting to see how it plays out.
Well, we could maybe do the brace where it holds the iPad for you. You walk around.
Actually, we featured a T-shirt on the show a number of months back that you can actually slip the iPad into this giant pocket on the front of this T-shirt.
Nice.
You can wear it around as a logo. So I guess you could do that, except have the camera out, and you could walk around.
Fanny pack.
Exactly.
That's
It looked a
really
little
smart.
ridiculous, and they were $50 T-shirts, which was a little absurd. But anyway, I digress. It's time to move on to Planet of the Apps.
You maniacs! Damn you! God damn you all to hell!
Don't download it, Vaughn. You might not like how it runs.
All right, we are back, and we are doing a music app themed Planet of the Apps this week. I know the guys talked about some movie apps last week, and because we are talking about music apps, I want to talk about this really cool peripheral product for your iPad or your new iPad 2. It is the Foxhole Personal Audiophile Loudspeaker. Now, what's really cool about this product is that it is Bluetooth enabled. And this is what it looks like. It's a little audio box, and it kicks out a heck of a lot of sound. There's a number of these products available on the market, and some are better than others. Obviously, you can get some pretty cheap speakers that you can hook into your iPad for like even like 10, 20 bucks, like really cheapy ones. But this is the real deal. This outputs some really amazing sound, and it has a base battery and twoofer technology is what they're calling it. It combines a tweeter and a woof, whatever that means. I'm not an audio engineer. Even our audio
Sounds
engineer
good.
didn't tell me what it means, even though I know he probably knows. So we're going to go ahead and demo this while we're testing out our music apps. And like I said, it works via Bluetooth, which is fantastic. They have two models. If you don't want to use Bluetooth, you can actually have hook it up via audio cord. It comes with a cable, and it hooks into virtually any audio device that has an auxiliary jack. And it also comes with power connection cables that go anywhere with you in the world. They have adapters for Australia, for the UK, for Europe. So I thought that was like a really neat little kind of
That's
upgrade.
included?
Yeah, that's included.
Okay, that's
so they're
nice.
like, you know what? We know that you travel a lot, and this product isn't exactly cheap, I'm going to say. And so they kind of threw that in there, which I thought was really great. So I'm going to go in right now and just set up the Bluetooth really quick. It's super easy to do. It's really kind of crazy how simple it is to do. Where is my Bluetooth? Bluetooth. I just
Okay,
had
I get it.
Thanks. So while I'm
great-
setting this up, how about you talk about the first app that you are going to talk about in Planet of the Apps?
Sure. Well, what's really exciting when there's new technology coming out, there's lots of different companies that kind of answer to that. So, for instance, I was up in San Francisco when Pioneer Electronics was announcing their new 4 new AV receivers that they're doing, and they are definitely reaching out to the Apple consumer. So, one of the apps that I want to talk about for you guys, with you guys, is AirJam, which you do have to have a Pioneer receiver, but it's pretty cool. So let's say that you are really into having people over, you're really into big, you're an audiophile, you like to kick it, the party gets going with the music. So with AirJam, what you can do is you can wirelessly stream your music from your iPhone, your iPod, or your iPad, now new for this year. It's called AirJam, so basically it would be, let's say, you come over to my house to the party, you've got your iPhone, you're like, Michelle, I've got this amazing list, and we don't have to fight over who's going to play the list, through the receiver. So it connects wirelessly through Bluetooth. So we'd connect basically up to 4 at one time. You can pick your picture. So each of us would select a song and enter it onto the receiver, and then it would build the playlist. So you'd see who entered the song. You would see what song it was. We could
Okay.
change the order. You can add or delete. So let's say that I'm kind of in charge of the master playlist, I can delete it if I'm like, you're going to ruin the vibe, Andrea. We're not playing any Celine Dion tonight. I'm sorry. So and what's really
I
cool
wouldn't
then.
put Celine Dion on at a party. No, never.
So then you can also, each person, if they hear a song that they like, they can select that they've liked the song. At the end, you can go to YouTube. You can like it on Facebook. And basically play the video if you want. I'm not quite sure if it actually, I don't think the video would stream wirelessly to play, but it's just kind of nice to see it in a different realm. So this is definitely the type of app that really promotes like a fun party atmosphere for the audiophile out there and for those who love to really kind of merge. It's kind of fun to be like, oh, hey, let's play a little bit of each person's music.
Right.
And not a competitive way to say whose is best, but then you can see what everyone's playing. So I think it's a pretty cool app.
Well, it's definitely added value for people who purchase the receiver from Pioneer. I really think that that's why that app exists.
Yes.
Is really just to be like, hey, we appreciate you purchasing audio equipment from Pioneer. As added value, we're going to give you this really cool free app that lets you create playlists with your friends. I mean, because me, with my cool Foxo little speaker box here, I can't use the Pioneer app because it's just Pioneer. So that's kind of a bummer, but it's a free app, so it's not like you're wasting any money if you download it to check it out and you realize, hey, I need a Pioneer receiver to play this.
And I think it just shows that companies out there are really responding to how all of us, really have become. It's like an Apple world out there. It really is. So they really are just showing that, hey, we're responding by our products, and we're going to make it really easy for you to integrate your iPad, your iPhone, and basically just like share your information with the world.
Absolutely. And on that note, let's move on to our next app. This is a selection by mine. It's called Vivo HD. And it's really neat. You do need to be connected to Wi-Fi, just as a FYI. So here's the home screen. It's scrolling through some featured videos right now. They've got Pitbull, they've got Chris Brown, some Michael Jackson, and you can watch the featured video, but I want to show you some of the other features going on first before we get into a video. So along the bottom of the screen here, if we can get rid of the lower third there for a second. Awesome. You can see that they have videos, where you can look at all the new videos. We're definitely going to check out that Gaga video. Artists, where you can check out all the different artists, which I think is really cool. So let's say that you are a big Shakira fan. Let's pick that. Over here you can see it says that she's on tour, which I think is really neat if you're a fan and you want to check out when her concerts are. They have videos of Shakira up here, and they have her Twitter feed, which I thought is really kind of neat because so many artists these days are on Twitter and saying really neat things and talking about stuff. And so this is Shakira's Twitter feed and her videos. So you can check out all of Shakira's stuff, and you can go back, and they have other artists as well. Black Eyed Peas obviously is super hot right now. Or all the time. They also have their Twitter feed on here, and they actually have their tour dates. So you can actually buy tickets for the Black Eyed Peas. They're performing in Germany, so in June. So if you guys live in Germany or you want to fly to Germany to see the Black Eyed Peas, you can actually buy tickets, and it'll take you to the online ticket portal through this app, which I thought was pretty neat as well. And then down here that they have different kinds of playlists. Let's say you want to listen to some music, you want to hear the top 10 pop songs this week. While it's buffering, right now it has a little trivia question. And then it'll play through the top 5 or the top 10 videos. And now, I don't know if you guys can hear it. Let me turn up the volume all the way here.
Ooh, let's get the party started.
Yeah, this is the Foxhole speaker box that you guys can hear, hopefully. Let me know in the chat room what it sounds like. In studio, it sounds pretty amazing. And this is the obviously the video for J-Lo's new single, On the Floor, that they've been featuring everywhere on American Idol. So let's just listen to and the speaker box is actually shaking the glass table. You can like feel the vibration.
I feel like I'm in concert.
Yeah.
Introduce you to my party people in the club.
5 out of 5. Thanks, chat room. So this streaming quality, I have to say, is quite fantastic.
It's moving.
Yes, it walks. It actually comes, what's interesting about you bringing that up, let me pause the video here, is that it comes with a little, you know that sticky material you lay down in a drawer to keep things from sliding
the
around?
little pad, sticky
It
pads.
actually comes with one of those, but I left it at home somewhere because I'm terrible about losing little things like that. I tried to keep it in the case with it, but they actually give you a pad to stick it on to prevent it from walking off the table, because it does, because the base is so strong. It actually will like jump, as you saw, across the table because of the base.
It's cute.
So back to the app. I really love this app because, I mean, obviously you saw the video quality is great. I think you guys know, if you're an iPad user, a lot of times when you stream video from the internet, the quality can sometimes go down significantly depending on your internet connection. And these are already all preloaded into the app, and you just need the internet connection to access the app, which I thought was awesome. And this is a free app, by the way, so if you're looking to check out some cool music videos and you don't want to go to YouTube and see a bunch of crap, because so many people put up crap music videos on YouTube, check out Vivo HD and download it. All right, so what's your next app you got, lady?
All right, so something else going on big this week besides the iPad 2 is South by Southwest. So of course, all of the big events that you go to, I personally always like to download an app, whether it's CES, Comic-Con, E3, because it's monstrous to get through these without knowing what you're doing. So something really cool that we're going to look at today is the app, South by SXSWGo. So basically what it is, it shows what's going on today. Everything's color-coded. Oh, sorry here, people. I'm trying to get you a better view. There you go. So today we've got an interactive thing going on. We've got film, interactive. So you can kind of scroll through, see what's going on today. A special feature that is just for the iPad is Discover. So this just adds a little bit of what else is going on. So when you click on one of these, it comes up, let's say this film, it's the history of Nikola Tesla, short story. It shows what time it's playing, the date, information on it. And then you can go and actually view the schedule, get a description. Here you can figure out the time and the place. So we see it's showing at the Carver, what city, the time. And then you can kind of take a look. This is what I thought was great too. There's so much going on here in South by Southwest. So you can kind of see what's similar. So these are some similar films that we'll be showing. You can share all of this information in your social network. Something big that South by Southwest is doing this year is utilizing the Gowalla. They really are trying to push Gowalla.
Oh, yes. They've been featured on our This Week in Startup show quite a number of times.
Yeah, so then let's just take a look at what else we got going on here. So on the bottom, so that's the Discover. We've got the schedule. Maybe it'll come up. So it's showing us here. Overall, I think the interface is pretty clean. It's pretty easy to see. So right here, we've got what's on now, all of the events. You can code it by whether you're clicking on the music, the film, interactive. We go to maps, which obviously when you're in a city.
Wow, that's really helpful. Do you
Yeah.
have to be connected to the internet to get to the map?
I downloaded this app, and I'm not.
Wow.
It's basically pulls up the map. I don't know exactly what kind of. It looks like it's powered by MapQuest. So basically, it's listing then all these venues. I haven't tried to click and see what happens if you. But see, 2 events right there.
That would be really helpful if you were at South by Southwest and you needed to know where to go, because I was just at GDC and we could have used a GDC app like that. Clearly GDC is not nearly the scale that South by Southwest is, but having an app without, or having a map without having to connect to the internet is really an amazing feature.
Yeah, I think they did a lot of work. Apparently they had one last year. There was some complaints. So some of the new features, the schedule syncing, they automatically are constantly syncing the schedule. So if it's changing, it's going to, I don't know if you've ever gone to some of those big shows and some things sometimes get canceled, it doesn't show up, you're there and they're like, sorry. But so schedule syncing is really cool. We've got, of course, something specifically for the trade show. So it gives you all the expos, what's going on. And then the social feature, which basically I really liked because you can pull up, instead of going to Twitter, it pulls up the Twitter interface on, kind of like the Vivo did.
Really nice.
So I didn't have to go to Twitter. On the app, it pulls up, the Twitter feed right now, what's going on. I wish I was there. I mean, I love being here, but I'm not going to South by Southwest this year.
We all wish we were at South by Southwest. There's no denying that. Even everyone out there watching wishes they were at South by Southwest. Yeah,
and just a lot of other cool things. And you're like photo galleries, sponsored by HP ePrint this year. So I think they're making it really easy for you with this app. If there's your schedules you want to print, there's certain locations you can go and print all your needed materials. So if you don't want to, be electronic and you want to waste some trees,
green,
you can,
yeah,
and then your schedule. So basically, you can select those things that you want to do and integrate those into your schedule. If you're, very that type of person that wants to know exactly what you're doing at what time.
That's really handy, and that's also a free app.
Definitely.
Well, that's
Free.
fantastic. So if you guys are planning on to go to South by Southwest next week, because it is going through next week, you definitely need to get the South by Southwest Go. It's a free app. All right, on to my last app of our Planet of the Apps. It's called Discover without the E. So it's DISCOVR, no E. And this app is, I just love this app. It's really, really fun and it's really, really neat. And this is the basic homepage that you get to. This is also another one of those you need to be connected to Wi-Fi to use. And give me the name of an artist that you like. Anybody.
Oh, I like 30 Seconds to Mars.
Okay, so 30 Seconds to Mars. I like them too. They're good.
Jared Leto. He's not bad.
Oops, I know how to type. 30 Seconds to Mars.
Booyah!
Thanks. This app is $2.99, and if you're a music fan, I really highly recommend it, even though it is a $3 app. So this is the main page. So what they'll do is, as you can see, 30 Seconds to Mars is in the center. And they have all of these different artists branching off that are similar or related to 30 Seconds to Mars in their style of music. They've got My Chemical Romance, Framing Hanley, Bullet for My Valentine, Goo Goo Dolls. I don't know why they're on there. That's kind of weird.
Sponsored.
And You'll Know Us by the Trail of the Dead. So let's take another one that I like, My Chemical Romance. So you click on them, and then it branches out even farther. So let's say you're like, well, I want to go more towards the sound of My Chemical Romance. And then they have Taking Back Sunday, who I love, Fall Out Boy, who's also great, Panic at the Disco, The Red Jumpsuit Apparatus. And so let's say you go, okay, I really love Fall Out Boy, and then it branches off again, or Taking Back Sunday, branches off again. And what's really neat about this is you can make it smaller so it's easier to see, or you can, of course, zoom in if you want to see more. And let's say you want to see something about the specific band. So double tap on 30 Seconds to Mars, and it pulls up all of this information. Of course, it has their biography telling you how they got started, how the band members met, where they're at, what they're doing now. Across the top, they have music videos for things that some of their recent songs. And then, of course, over here, they have blogs about 30 Seconds to Mars, which I think is really neat. They have some reviews from their This Is War album, links to the 30 Seconds to Mars MySpace, on iTunes and Amazon if you want to check out their pages. And then, of course, they have their music. So let's pick a song. How about Kings and Queens? Everyone knows that song. Whoa! The speaker box is loud. Let me turn it down. Hold on. There we go. So you can check out their music, which I think is really awesome, because when you're on iTunes and you're checking out bands, I mean, I know that they recently updated to give you a 90-second preview, but you can actually listen to the whole song here. And you can buy the album or you can play the album. And I just think that this is a really neat app, and it's a great way to find out about other artists, and that's why it's called Discover. So for example, I have never heard anything by the group I Am Ghost. Have you heard anything by them?
No.
So I don't know about this band, so I can find out about it. So it says it's a post-hardcore band from Long Beach, California, formed in late 2004, and it has the rest of their biography about where they came from. And then you can watch their videos. So let's say you want to pull up a video right here for one of their songs. And you can go ahead and watch it right from your iPad. I think that this is a really neat app. And I know it's $2.99, and sometimes people can get kind of turned off by apps like that. But if you're a music fan, this is a great way for you to find out about other artists. And when you go back to the main screen here, all you got to do is hit the question mark, and then it says here that you can shake it. So you take your iPad, shake it, and it completely clears it, so you can start all over. So let's say you want to find out who is like Adele, because I love Adele, and her new album just came out, and she's got a really unique sound. And then they bring up some of my other favorite artists, Beth Orton, Amy Winehouse, Katie Tunstall, who I love. And then, as you can see, you can just go on and on and on. And I just think that this is, really neat. So that is Discover, and you guys should check it out. And that is it. That's all the time we have for today. Out of all of the apps that we talked about, our music apps, which one would you say would be the best?
I really like Discover. I think it's really important for people to kind of go outside their normal boundaries and find out what's going on in the music world. I, for one, I'm really bad about like, oh yeah, I like this band and I'll play them over and over again while I'm working out. And so I love to be able to find out, and I do care. I'm like, oh, that band's from, some place that I spent a lot of time at once. That was a cool city. That's where they got their. Find out more about them, and then you can, kind of, really enjoy them and appreciate them. And the quality of that is really nice.
Absolutely, and the interface is so important, and a lot of times on this show, Jacob and I always harp on apps for having horrible interfaces, for having, lazy graphics, terrible text issues, the menus aren't intuitive, and this is just really fantastic, and it's a really beautiful look. It's a beautiful looking app. And it makes it really simple and easy to use, and the thing that's really great about it is that you can type in virtually the name of almost any artist and Discover knows who it is, versus the Vivo app, which only has about 8,000 or so popular artists in it, which somebody in the chat room pointed out earlier.
I was a little, I thought that Vivo was easier to use than actually going to the Vivo, website. I liked the app much better, but it was a little turned off by how exact on who's playing on the radio constantly and who's on there. I like to find I'm a little more into alternative. So I didn't see exactly what I was looking for, but I feel like you could search a little bit and find that.
Right.
But still, the quality of Vivo was excellent as well. Like the HD, I love it.
Absolutely. All right, you guys, let us know which app you thought was the best. You can tweet us at TWIiPad or email us at ipad@thisweekend.com. Don't forget about our fantastic contest that we're doing with Hover.com. If you want to transfer your domain, it's week transfer.hover.com. Send us your receipts for your transfer domain names for your chance to win one of two $50 iTunes gift cards. Again, email us at ipad@thisweekend.com. And don't forget, if you use the promo code WEEK, you can get 10% off of your transfers or domain purchases at Hover's website. So thank you so much for tuning in to This Week in iPad. Jacob will be back next week with his fancy iPad 2, and we will show you all of its awesome new features. And have a fantastic weekend. Thanks so much, guys. Bye.